What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. As Luna taunts Will with yet another text, Taylor refuses to allow Ridge to return to toxic Brooke. Brave and lovely, Katie begs Will to forget the mysterious woman. Thomas tells Brooke to realize his dad is moving on, and Lee assures Luna that she won't allow her to make a mistake. When Ridge tells Taylor at the guest home that he is unable to marry her, Taylor is shocked. She believes he loves Brooke more than she does when he claims to love her. His head flaps around. This isn't about her, according to Ridge. He has made her happy, so she won't let him go easily. She advises him not to allow Brooke and Eric to separate once more. If he didn't plan to follow through on her proposal, he wouldn't have accepted it. Will Brooke be the reason he takes away her happiness? She will not permit it. She reminds him of her love for him and their family and asks if he needs more time. She berates Brooke for failing to see her toxic nature. Taylor will not allow Brooke to destroy his life once more. She will not allow him to abandon them once more. Brooke is told by Thomas at Forrester that she must acknowledge that she is nothing more than Ridge's history. For her own sake, she must come to terms with that. He's hoping she's taking this seriously and will pull away. Since his mother is his father's future, Thomas feels pleased for her. Brooke has caused too much suffering for his family, and it must end. He will not let her entice her way back in. She is disoriented. He informs her that there is no longer any romantic relationship between her and Ridge. She reminds him that their time in Italy was fantastic. Thomas is adamant that Ridge marry his mother. Will reveals his secret. He is haunted by his mystery night. Katie gave Will the awful suggestion to keep his mystery night a secret from Elektra. He might have to confess, the Bold and the Beautiful hinted. Will is told to keep the peace by Katie. Katie is sticking to her earlier position. She advised Will to keep his mysterious encounter a secret. Because of this, Katie does not want to see his connection with Elektra ruined. But this is poor counsel. Elektra believed that she could rely on Will. However, he has been hiding something from her ever since. Furthermore, it would have been more realistic to watch him struggle to accompany Elektra all the way after experiencing sexual assault the previous evening. Will is frantically trying to identify this woman. He may learn sooner rather than later. Will receives an unidentified text message. Luna thought about the night she had attacked Will. Luna had a funny expression on her face, and Lee could see that she was thinking about him. She still doesn't know what Luna was doing the other night, though. Lee believes that Luna was prepared to give her granddaughter another chance and is now at last abiding by her house rules. This won't last long, though, as the BNB must-watch video preview for September 8th to 12th indicates. Compared to Poppy, Romy Park, Lee believes she would be a better mother. Receiving Lee's approval makes Luna happy. Nevertheless, this will not help her stay sane. She continues to cause Will problems. Luna took a picture of the party mask on her bed with her phone after Lee left. She then forwarded the picture to Will. She wrote, "Last night was wonderful," in her final message. "Who is this?" Will asked. "Your secret admirer," Luna wrote. This most recent message clearly upset Will. He was certain that Elektra spent the majority of the night in that same mask. Will he ever discover this person's identity? As her heart raced with a mixture of rage and desperation, Taylor Hayes stood in the dimly lit Forrester guest house, her mind replaying Ridge Forrester's words like a cruel echo that would not go away. His admission that he could not marry her hung in the air like a death sentence to the future she had so meticulously planned, and although Ridge attempted to soften the blow by claiming that this wasn't about her, Taylor couldn't help but see it as yet another betrayal. He allowed Brooke Logan's toxic pull to destroy everything they had worked for, and this time she refused to give up, refused to watch helplessly as Ridge slipped out of her grasp and into the arms of the woman who had poisoned their lives for decades. She pushed forward, her voice shaking but her spirit defiant, reminding him that he had declared his love for her, that he had accepted her proposal of marriage not out of confusion or sympathy but because he wanted to start a life with her, because she had made him happy and had given him stability, family, and loyalty, and if he dared to deny that now. There was only one possible explanation. Brooke had once again wormed her way into his mind, twisting it until he lost all sense of reality. Unwilling to let history happen again, Taylor adamantly insisted that she would not let him leave her, that she would not allow Brooke and Eric Forrester to destroy them the way they had before. Her anger grew as she accused Ridge of planning to take away her happiness because Brooke was dangling herself like bait, and she screamed about how toxic Brooke really was. Since Ridge was unable to recognize the harm she had caused until it was too late, she made a firm, almost vow-like, promise that she would not allow Brooke to destroy his life once more, and that she would stand her ground and keep Ridge bound to the family and love they had created, because letting him go would mean giving up what little dignity she still had, and she was not prepared to do that, especially since she was so certain that Ridge belonged with her. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, as he laid down the law that Brooke needed to finally accept her place in Ridge's life, which was firmly in the past, Thomas Forrester faced her directly, his eyes flaming with hatred and defiance. He spoke with an almost frightening certainty. Thomas smirked with self-satisfaction as he declared that he was happy for his mother and that she, not Brooke, was Ridge's future, telling her that she had to accept the truth for her own sake because chasing Ridge would only result in humiliation and more heartbreak. He reminded Brooke that his family had suffered too much at her hands, that every time they started to heal, she slithered back in and reopened wounds, and that he vowed not to let her seduce Ridge again. Though Thomas sneered and insisted it meant nothing compared to his mother's future as Ridge's wife, Brooke's words unsettled him enough to show how brittle his faith in Ridge's devotion truly was. Brooke, who never backs down from a challenge, pushed back with her own brand of fierce confidence, reminding Thomas that she and Ridge had shared a magical moment in Italy that spoke volumes about the enduring connection between them. In another more subdued, but no less tense area of this expansive drama, Katie Logan was giving young Will Spencer advice out of a misplaced protective instinct, telling him to keep the truth about his mystery knight a secret from Electra Forrester. Katie claimed that it was better to keep the peace in his relationship than to risk ruining it with honesty. However, Katie's advice, well-meaning as it may have been, was seriously flawed because, in reality, Will's silence was only deepening the rifts in his relationship, sowing the seeds of mistrust that would unavoidably blossom into betrayal once the truth came to light, and Electra. The fact that Will was concealing something so significant from her caught her off guard. Meanwhile, Will struggled with the memory of that night, a night that was less consensual and more predatory than he wanted to admit, because Luna Nozawa had taken advantage of him while wearing a mask. Despite Will's desperate efforts to identify her and reveal the truth, he was still caught in a tangle of conflicting emotions that left him vulnerable and shaken. Until Luna herself chose to further twist the knife, sitting in her bedroom with a sly grin while holding the party mask from that night, daydreaming about her forbidden encounter, and despite her grandmother Lee Finnegan's belief that she was finally settling down. Taking a picture of the mask and sending it straight to Will with the terrifying text, "Last night was wonderful." Luna was planning trouble in the shadows while adhering to house rules and gaining Will's trust. Will, already shaken, responded bewildered, "Who is this?" Will's heart raced with fear and incredulity as Luna doubled down and typed back, "Your secret admirer." He had spent the evening certain that it had been Electra behind that mask, but now the foundation of everything he believed he knew was collapsing beneath him, leaving him exposed. Sheila Carter, who was never far from chaos, learned of Luna's antics and the risk that Will might piece things together while all of this was going on. The thought of Luna being exposed sent Sheila into a panic because she, too, had secrets connected to Luna's wrongdoings, secrets that could destroy her tenuous marriage to Deacon Sharp. Ever the survivor, Sheila knew she could not allow Luna's recklessness to bring her to her knees, so her anxiety simmered even as she devised plans to keep the situation under control. As all these lives intertwined in a spiraling storm of secrets, betrayals, and forbidden desires, Ridge's indecision loomed over everything, his inability to choose between Brooke and Taylor threatening to split families, ignite feuds, and drive Thomas insane once more. Taylor clung desperately, Brooke plotted resolutely, Thomas fought with rage, Katie miscalculated with her advice, Will stood on the edge of truth, Luna played with fire, and Sheila shook with fear. The bold and the beautiful was laying the groundwork for explosions that would shake the very foundations of every family caught in its unrelenting orbit, leaving only heartbreak, revelation, and the inevitable shattering of illusions in its wake. It became more and more obvious that no one, not Ridge, not Taylor, not Brooke, not Will, and not even the cunning Luna, could escape this tangled web unscathed.